I don't know.
Yeah, I was having fun. I was having fun beating them. That was great. I had a lot of fun beating them. Hmm.
Ooh,
Let's see. How could I do?
access game.
Hmm. I need to figure out how to set up Streamlabs where you can have like the camera and shit. I want to be able to have Discord showing everyone's on camera on there, but I don't know
Yeah,
how
if we
to
could
do
do that, man, who knows?
that. No,
You
there's a
know?
way. David's done it before. He's done it where he
Yeah,
has all the
now
people,
we could be famous.
everyone's videos at the bottom, like all their video feeds at the bottom. You know,
Oops,
David, there he is in the flesh,
Hello.
but also digital.
Bloodstones, not the bloodstones.
How did
Oh.
you, whenever you previously were recording your other campaign, you had it where like all of the videos, the cameras were all lined up at the bottom and shit? How'd you do that?
I think the only way I know, well, because whenever I did it, I didn't have everyone's videos down there. I had like a little picture for them, like a
Oh.
class symbol. I think that you could do it. I think that the fastest way to do
Bloodstones?
it is through a Discord call, like we have, and then creating a graphic that basically like overlays on top of the video cam, so it doesn't look like a Discord call. If that makes sense.
Hmm. I mean, I don't care about that. I just don't know how to like embed it where I can still show my screen but have the Discord videos up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that I also don't know. There's a way to do it. I
Oh
don't know what
yeah,
that
no.
way is.
I mean, Critical Role does it, right? So they have like all kinds of shit set up.
Yeah, so you should be able to like look it up, but I don't know exactly.
I won't worry about it this time, but because I'd like to have that.
Mhm.
I'm dragon.
Man, my camera sucks.
Yeah, I still got that $20 one. So
Yeah, I got mine like I think like $15 5 years ago or something, but everyone else's cameras.
yeah, too
This is
bad
my
Waco
fucking
has horrible internet connection, so he's like lagging all the time. It's a nice quality, but it lags constantly. So.
About that.
What's your 90 50 10 for tonight, Waco?
Is 90% you sure happening?
Uh-huh.
I'm probably gonna stumble a bunch on talking to the general. That's gonna be 90%. I'm gonna get too excited and
That's a given.
start acting like a crazy person.
You're gonna say some really weird or dumb shit somewhere.
Yeah, every episode, man, about 5 times. 50% go in the sewers. Somebody's gonna go in the sewers. I think it's more than that. I'm hoping, but you never know. I don't know. I'm not good at this game.
We're already good at D&D. Wait, what?
Wait, what?
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 Yeah, that's why I like playing stupid characters in my newer campaign or my one shots. No contribution. 10%. I don't know, man. I'll give a 10% chance that Jin uses his coin somehow. Oh no, he's on here now. Can you hear me?
Oh, now you just made it like 30% chance.
Nope. Never mind. Yeah, somebody else play.
Waco likes playing dumb characters, so when he does dumb shit, he can be like, "Oh, it's just my character, you know."
This is what character we do, guys. Well, in my head, there's so much stuff rattling around in my head when it's time to say stuff. It's just bad. It's just I can't. It's a problem.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Loading Malnova.
There's a new D&D version I need to update to.
6E?
I wish. Have y'all seen the stuff for 5.5E that's coming out?
I've seen a little bit.
Yeah,
I have
there's been
not.
a lot of leaks.
5.5E.
Yeah, they're soft
Mhm.
rebooting.
What are they trying to do? What's like one of the big themes?
Well, so far there hasn't been a lot of mechanic stuff that's been released yet. It's mostly, I guess like lore or character creation stuff.
Race.
But yeah, race stuff. They're changing the way that races work kind of significantly.
They've been trying to do that.
Yeah, so they changed it fully to like the Tasha's system.
Yeah, I knew that would happen.
Yeah, so there's no points allocated to any race, and they kind of gutted a lot of the race like history, like lore stuff for like DMs mostly, or I guess anyone that wants to read it. But like Yuan-Ti, for example, they take out anything pertaining to them being like a pure blood race or like slavers or cannibals and stuff like that. It's just a lot of like flattening a lot of stuff. It feels like.
Makes sense.
Then, yeah, it's kind of a bummer from the lore perspective, just like a
homogenizes everything.
Yeah, like that was some of the cool stuff about the Yuan-Ti was like they're pure blood, and then they're like half bloods, and like all like the bloodline stuff that's in their culture that isn't there anymore. So like if I were a DM going into it, then I wouldn't get any of that good stuff. Just trying to build.
Yeah,
something.
I think they always their angles always the DM can make any race that now. You know what I'm saying? You can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
think they're
like-
it just sounds like they're trying not to pigeonhole one race to do one thing or another.
And I
love
do
the
get
character.
that, but
I love the character part.
You can
It's
still
not
have
the-
your pure blood. You can still have that
You can't.
aspect.
you definitely can. I guess my thing would be if like I'm imagining myself 2 years ago when we first started, right? And I bought a book and read about how the Yuan-Ti have all this pure blood stuff, and that's what like inspired me. Whereas like if I were to do that when 5.5e comes out, I wouldn't get any of that.
Yeah.
So like experienced DMs definitely can, but I feel like for like just from like an inspiration standpoint and like trying to build like take things from like Yuan-Ti culture or whatever culture,
There needs
there's
to be
just
a
like less
culture book.
building blocks.
There needs to just be a straight up culture book, man. Like 100 different cultures. Bam, one book.
Yeah, that'd be
Nice.
cool. Cause I can definitely sympathize with them when not wanting to be like all drow or evil kind of deal, where it's like, well, you have like it's all gray, right? That I can definitely understand.
I love the character stuff though, because you can finally be whatever you want to be and still be a fighter, or still be a wizard, or still be a, you know.
Yeah.
You get to allocate those.
Yeah.
The bonuses, it's just that you get to put them anywhere, right? You get to put like a 2 and a 1 anywhere you want.
Yeah, you could just throw them around where you want them. Which is yeah, I mean it makes it to where if you want to play whatever, you don't have to be like, well, unless you want to play it like at a less advantage, then you have to be this like X race.
Which I'm all about. I'll play a halfling paladin. Done did
Yeah,
it.
from a character building perspective, it's definitely quite nice. Like,
I mean,
I
you
don't
could
really
do that
see anything negative.
before.
And that's kind of like the thing with all of this is that like you could always use like Tasha's like alternate rules. It's just a matter of knowing about them.
Yeah, but there are a lot of DMs out there that are like raw only,
True.
and so if you have one of those and you're in one of those campaigns and they're like, no, you can't play that, like you can't change those stats around. That's not how this works. So
What are those tables called? Like Adventurers Guild, or where you're supposed to just sit
Yeah,
down
that's
and
what
play
they.
with people?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, Kyle. It's like the adventure stuff.
If you play with some kind of group, they'll tell you can only pick like the player's handbook and one other book, and that's all you can use.
well, a lot of the in D&D horror stories or RPG horror stories, it's all like DMs that are like they only let them do very specific stuff in raw, stuff like that. So there are a lot of DMs out there that do that. Is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, true.
So if they make it a soft reset where that's now like that's now like part of raw, then it makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I don't really mind the character creation changes. Like you said, I mean, it just kind of opens up character creation to a bit. I wish that.
It doesn't really hurt anything, you know.
Yeah,
That
it doesn't
part of
take
it.
anything away from it. I saw someone talking about it, and I thought it was a really good idea of trying to separate basically having like 3 different aspects of character creation. That's like race.
I had to mute Manny.
Oh damn!
Yeah, I turned him way
Jesus
down.
Christ!
It's it was like race, culture, which would take the place of backgrounds and make them like more forefront, and then class, so that you can still have like a drow that's good at certain things because of his culture. So like that's kind of like the ability score modifier stuff, and then plus background, and then his class, and then you get your racials.
Are you gonna be streaming this session on Twitch?
It's not like Andrew can't watch it on Twitch, but I can try to record it and keep it and like upload it on YouTube, I guess.
Yeah, it'll take a while to upload it, I'm sure, but it'll be.
Yeah.
Manny,
I
what
can have it
happened to
going in
your
the
audio?
background.
And I don't have my headset. I have COVID.
Oh no.
Oh, This is a disaster.
So you're saying that you have COVID and you're playing, and Andrew has COVID and he's not playing.
Yeah, my dedication outweighs his. So wait, what do I need to mute myself? What's wrong with my audio? Let me know.
It sounds like
Um,
you're in a. It sounds like you're in like a 5 foot by 5 foot echoing bathroom.
Yeah, I'm in his like industrial style office.
I feel like you're taking a shit right now, and you're just like. False.
I'm sorry. You're
False.
feeling
And you
bad.
get a toilet flush. No.
That's my false button.
While we're waiting for Drew, I did want to bring up. Oh, hold on. My Streamlabs just. I did want to offer the idea because I've been reading a little bit about it, and apparently a lot of people like it. The Tasha's alternate class rules. It's they're pretty minor things for some. Some expanded spell lists for others. Bigger things for other people. Maybe something to think about. It just adds. It's a very small rebalancing of multiple classes.
Do go on.
The full thing can be found. How do I guess I can link it in Discord. Hold on. Maybe. And the only other thing I got is that I will not be able to play next week because of a business trip.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a lie.
So, did you say that's a lie?
Maybe.
Manny.
So the first week of February, I think I'll be able to make it, but I'll be just getting off a plane basically. So I might be late.
Okay, good to know.
Oh, and I'll be on my phone only. So
the Manny treatment.
Hey,
I uploaded a Word doc in the Malnova channel of this Discord, and it has all of Tasha's class changes in it. Like I said, they're not like a big thing, but a lot of them are just like kind of minor rebalancing to make classes feel a little bit better. I think Cleric is actually one of the biggest ones that's changed,
hey.
if I remember right.
So it expands the cleric spell list.
It expands all spellcaster spell lists.
That's cool.
I
And,
am for it.
and one thing I'm gonna try to be better at, maybe y'all can try to keep me honest since Drew's. Oh, there we go. Maybe y'all can try and keep me honest on it. Is we don't use spell components, but I would like to try to incorporate the spell actions more. So like the verbal, somatic, and material. No, not material. I forget what the.
I was about to say what?
Aim is material, but That
No, well, so you say it, you do it with your hands, and you have the material.
Yeah, so and the reason I want to try to incorporate this better in the future is so that and this isn't a y'all thing, it's an all of my groups thing. So that's why I'm incorporating it with y'all too, because I'm kind of want it for other groups more. But so like you can't stealthily cast a spell in it when you're like sneaking, right? And it has a verbal component. You have to say it out loud fully, because sorcerers have a feature that allows them to whisper spells, and it's supposed to be a pretty big deal. But it doesn't feel like as much of a big deal when there are magic casters that are casting spells under their breath. It doesn't really work like that.
How does it work if you say the spell in the bag of holding?
That's the
I
other
guess.
thing.
Yeah, I guess it's strapped aside. I don't really know. And for material, the M portion of it,
Mhm.
we won't be using materials, but that's usually when your spellcasting focus is used, as something to like hold on to. So it's not a big change, especially for y'all's group, because y'all don't have as many spellcasters or sorcerers.
Excuse me.
But my other two groups both have sorcerers, and they were asking me like, why would I ever take like the quiet meta magic when like people are just casting spells under their breath? And I was like, well, that's a pretty good point.
Well.
That's not very fair. That's not super fair. So
It's good. It's good flavor too.
Yeah,
like,
just
it had flavor.
add some flavor and a little more strategery, just to you can't be in someone's captivity and then you just whisper a spell to yourself and do it. You kind of have to have the stuff prepared for it. So yeah, take a look. Drew, I was talking about how
Ooh.
I was going to offer to y'all, if y'all, as a group, if you vote together in the Malnova text channel of Discord, I uploaded a Word doc, and it has Tasha's optional class features that do it. It's not like homebrew or anything. They're official, and they're just a slight rebalancing to most of the classes, just to make them feel a little bit better. Some are more than others, but if y'all read through them and like them, then it as a group y'all vote to use them. Then we
Gotcha.
can kind of go off of those. I think there's like 2 things for barbarians.
I like the monk feats. I can heal myself.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to try and help marshals catch up
okay.
with spellcasters a little bit, if I remember right. So take a look. You don't have to decide like right now or anything, but just let me know. Maybe next week or whatever we can talk about it. And I think that's all I got. Let me roll for our storyteller. That's not gonna work. I mean, I guess you still
Wait.
can, but we don't need to. Yes.
Nothing. I had to reread it, and it made sense.
Oh, really? Jacob, will you quickly recap what happened to your side last week, just so we don't have to go a few weeks without having it?
We basically decided to try to convince. Like, all it was we kind of had a conversation about what to do with the whole Beholder and Aboleth thing, and we decided that we were going to try to trick the Beholder, and not necessarily trick him, but also trick him into helping us kill the Illithid. Because we don't want him to become a lich and like destroy the whole world or whatever. So yeah, we are going back to Zazor to try to broker a peace treaty essentially with him and be like, hey, this Illithid's trying to kill you. We want to help kill him, and then we'll leave you in peace to your moss. And also, we told him that the Illithid's causing the moss to die. So. And
Yeah, very nice.
old brilliant Zazor is like, hell yeah, the spell worked.
Awesome. Yeah, pretty much. And
God damn it.
Is Waco frozen for anyone else? Oh.
He's always frozen.
Yes.
Will you recap us for y'all's end? I know that there are a lot of moving parts on y'all's end, so if you would like to have some help from the rest of the gang, just feel free.
Sure. So on our end, we started like right after the whole courtyard scene where we swooped and saved some guys, and we decided to go do some scouting. This was also after the torture of Forless.
Oh yeah. Go Forless.
We decided to go to Joe's, which I believe we did. Did we get to Joe's with the bag of holding, or did we do something else?
I think you did do the bag of holding because I hadn't brought up the bag of holding.
Right.
Yet.
We've been cheating this whole time, Amy, so we can't cheat anymore. But anyway, so we were making a plan at Joe's with the Resistance Tigers, and Manny found out at the orphanage that there was people there, right?
Yeah, the two kids
Yeah,
that are already starting to turn.
right. And we wanted to find a cure for them.
Yeah,
Well,
I,
Thunder.
well,
I'm gonna try. Yeah, I'm gonna
and-
try to cure them.
And
Thunder.
I'm giving them drugs.
I did bring back an elf.
Curious to see how that plan pans out. Yes, you did bring back an elf.
I did. I forgot what kind of elf.
and Ventus wanted to train the half-resistant or the half-turned
Half compromised.
soldiers. Yes.
And the kids.
And the kids. He's going to train them with his to be
That-
level 10 monks.
Yes.
So they would poison resist-
Not level 10 monks, level 10 monk feet. Okay.
Yeah,
Difference.
I see. Jin was gonna go scout out the Fort Pike and kind of see what's going on in there. Aslos didn't really want to do anything.
I think at one point the idea was that some people might go into the sewer, but I don't know if we ever
And
find that out.
yeah, I know Aslos did not want to go into the sewer. That was not his jam.
No,
Yeah.
sewer's not my thing, man.
And Fael was gonna go talk to the council, try to recruit some aid.
Yeah. Anything anyone wants to add?
This didn't happen, but I'd like to think that Mrs. Hawthorne stayed behind in Ocharia hanging out with Frojo. That's just my opinion.
Absolutely, doing a little aerial reconnaissance.
They're getting over. I mean, she's a celestial. She's a dragon. I mean, come on.
Kind of makes sense.
Come on.
Anything else? Anyone?
You're doing a great job, David.
Wow. Thank
You're
you,
nailing
Manny.
it.
I
Wow.
appreciate that. Kind.
Nailed it.
But if nothing else, then let's go ahead and dive right in. I'm gonna bring y'all over to the Ocharian map because it's just easiest. And I'm gonna bring y'all to this map, but I actually want to start Fayo. So remember, Fail, you are in the ancient city of at San Luzea. You use your helm of teleportation to blink back to the elder tree in the center of the city, and you found your way to the guard line protecting the Emerald Castle. They did not believe you when you said that you need to speak to the High General. But to their complete surprise, you actually did need to speak to the High General, who granted you an audience. And he brought you with his guards and a council, it looked as though, of nobles, up into the keep, into one of the towers, where you are sitting with him in what appears to be a very handsome, elegantly decorated study. Made of pure oak. You can see oak cabinets, bookshelves are lined the walls, a large oak desk that has been kind of like burn etched with a map of the city, all in Elvish, and it's just a really handsome, cozy setting. And sitting across from you at this large oak desk is the High General Oromir in what appears to be kind of comfy robes, right? He's not like in armor or anything like the last time that you saw him. He's just in deep purple robes with like a golden embroidery, and is looking directly at you with his glasses on. And I forget, do you happen to remember the last thing that the two of you talked about? I thought it had to do with the city.
Yeah, I started rambling about Joe and informants and, talking, but then I kind of realized I was rambling and stopped and mentioned how we have a short timeline because we feel like they're getting turned by the water supply, that the people are getting turned. And then he brought up, he goes, so they were right, or something like that, and like freaked out or something. Not freaked out, but yeah, definitely was like, what? Something like that.
Yeah,
I can't remember
you're right.
exactly what he said.
You're absolutely right. He rubs his temple and says to you, you can see that the rest of his guards have left the room. It's just the two of you now in this study.
Manny, mute.
Yeah, Manny, can you mute? And
I'm
just let me
sorry.
talk? It's okay. And he's looking directly at you, kind of rubbing his temples, and he says in a low voice, after their takeover of the Grand City, we had presumed that something was happening to the survivors. We couldn't explain the way that the Yuan-Ti invaded Grand City. They, unlike any other army I've ever seen, they did their best to avoid killing civilians, anyone. If they could take them as a prisoner of war, they would. We were confused. At this point, us elves were just watching at a distance while the humans fought. But I remember having many discussions with my own elves here about the novelty of it. We weren't sure to chalk it up to cultural differences or something more sinister. But I think you just answered that question for us.
Yeah, and in the time frame that we're thinking, I guess Grand City's lost. I didn't even think about that, to tell you the truth. As in, like, did they successfully turn everybody at this point? That's a big city, in general.
It is one of the biggest. But it also explains how the Yuan-Ti were able to form such a formidable army so quickly. That was definitely one of the aspects that bewildered us the most. The portal, of course, could transport Yuan-Ti from Raptua to Malnova. But at the scale that we were seeing, to suddenly have an entire army prepared, it was unthinkable for us. And I will be honest, it perpetuated a lot of the fear and myths that began to surround those creatures. And so I share the same fear as you as to what happened to those in Grand City.
Well, man, that's a devastating blow. So Ocharia, right? Not completely there yet. So
How long do you think we have? Do you know?
we're thinking a few days. I mean, they've
A few days?
or more. I mean, the more I don't know. That's the general consensus, but I mean, that's just some theories
Largian,
from
help
Mr.
us.
Joe. But yeah, I would say 2 days from now, we need to try to do something about this.
I was... And you can see that he begins to write down on a large piece of parchment in front of him. I will be honest with you, Lieutenant. on our side of intelligence before you just revealed that information to me. We were thinking of this in a completely different time scale. That we maybe had weeks.
I mean, that's what the plan was. We were going to scout it out for a couple weeks, really figure it out and foment discord, try to get the people to help with the uprising. That's still on the table, still has to happen. But yeah,
He kind of raises his hand and
Tiger-
he says, I think it would be wise to try to include General Descartes and the Archmage in this conversation.
Oh, of course. Yeah, this was all impromptu, and I hate to be bringing this all up so quick. I mean, but yeah, we feel like the time scale have shifted big time.
And so he stands, and you see him begin to wave his hands as he begins to summon a spell. And it takes several seconds for this kind of misty fog to fill the chamber. And you can see as the fog kind of spreads out and fills out a room like it would naturally, it then begins to coalesce. And you can see the fog kind of begin to materialize itself in the form of two figures. And as they're taking shape, you can see that slowly, kind of standing to either side of you, are two male figures. And slowly, they take shape into the man that you recognize as General Descartes, and then, of course, another man you recognize as the Archmage. General Descartes is similarly in kind of like sleepwear. It's even a few hours later where he is due to the time zones here. And you can see that he has a bushy mustache and well-kept hair that's short. And he, as he materializes, he kind of raises his hands. He's not colored. Like he's still like a white, misty fog that just kind of looks like a person as it's kind of pouring out from him. And he kind of raises his voice and says, "What is the point of this, summoning me at this hour? I was trying to sleep." And then he looks to his left and sees you. And he kind of gives you a nod and says, "Oh, Lieutenant Linden. Pleasure to see you again."
Pleasure, General.
And to your left, the Archmage is in his sleep robes and gives you a small smile and says, much quieter, "Hello, Fio."
Hey, Ahmed.
Oromir, what is the meaning of this? And Oromir is still sitting at his desk as he gestures to Descartes, says, "Fio here, excuse me, Lieutenant Linden, is coming from the city of Ocharia, attempting to execute our plan of subterfuge, and has brought to my attention some important information that I thought would be necessary to share with the rest of you." And he kind of gives you a nod to tell them what you know.
Yeah, and I just go through quickly the fact that it seems the population is being poisoned by their drinking supply, and slowly but surely they're turning into Yuan-Ti, and therefore we don't have weeks, we have days before the city is going to be too far gone.
And there's a long silence in the room as the three individuals, some of the most prominent members of Malnovan society, reflect on the information that you just provided. And General Descartes turns his head towards you and says, "Well, Lieutenant, you know the ground better than any of us there. What do you suggest we do?"
Well, everything's gonna pin. We're still getting more information, so that's why, I mean, hopefully tomorrow, maybe if we can last another day, maybe we need a day or two worth of information. But with all that being aside, we think the only way to go about it is to take the Arcane College. open up the portal like we plan to do, and then begin the siege of inside of Ocharia, I guess. We have there's the whole sewer situation, but let's not get into that. But we do fear that they're using the sewers. There's not a single guild left in the whole damn city that isn't under the influence of the Yuan-Ti. We know that the Yuan-Ti has about 100 soldiers, and that they have a drow company about 200. We believe most of that's in the keep and at Fort Pike, and of course, manning the walls, walking the streets. They have patrols. They have the city shut down at night. So there's a couple things we can do, but it all starts with taking that arcane college and getting that gate open. And quite frankly, I don't know how we're supposed to get the gate to work. I don't know if that's going to be something simple. I was hoping the Archmage be able to maybe enlighten us on that. But once that happens, as many troops as you can bring in, and that's half of why I'm here. That's the other reason to get everything expedited, and also figure out what kind of commitments we could get from y'all, because depending on how many soldiers y'all could provide, or archers, or whatever you got, it's going to dictate the plan.
And the Archmage kind of raises a finger and says, well, as far as the gate goes, yes, it's hard to diagnose from my end, simply because I don't know what they've done to it from theirs. I'm still trying to think of a way that possibly I can help from afar, since I won't be able to get there until the gate is fixed. It's quite a conundrum. So, as of now, and maybe Lieutenant Linden, you and your party can pass this information along to them. But we need to try to think of a way that would allow me to conversate with you after you've secured the gate, and you can communicate with me, so that we might be able to link it together.
I mean, we do have stones. I'm not sure if there's a better form than that.
We might need vision too, but we can see if just simply describing it is enough.
Okay, well, I can definitely leave here without a stone, if need be.
That might be wise. And General Descartes is kind of looking between the three of you and says, I'm sorry, I think we're glossing over the fact that our plan hinges on a fire squad already inside the city breaking open a gate. Lieutenant Linden, with all due respect, do you think that your party of 6, 7 is able to pull this off? Or is this a suicide squad?
Well, first off, the gate, I mean, just to be clear, we're not talking about a city gate, General. We are talking about a portal, a gate to, I don't know if you're aware of that part.
Yes, I am aware. Thank you.
Okay. Seemed like you're demeaning the gate, and it's a pretty good gate. But as far as the crew, yeah, I mean, we also have the assistance of the jackals. I mean, not the jackals, the tigers at this point. Led by Joe. I don't know if y'all know him. Crazy Joe had a great shop right there in town. So we're not alone. We'd have some help. We got scouts right now checking out the Arcane College. I mean,
Okay. So
yeah. I don't think that's going to be, I think that's one of the easier parts, hopefully.
Okay. Let's assume your team can make it to the Arcane College, break open the gate, and allow everyone through. Like you said, we need to talk commitments. The time scale here makes it hard, Lieutenant. I'm sure you can understand.
Of course.
My army is nowhere near White Tower. I would be sending... Let me think. I think I could spare... It's an elite force. They're small. but they specialize in operations like this. There's 12 members. I promise you, they're as strong as 50.
12's a start, for sure.
And the Archmage kind of raises a hand. And once you open the gate, I'm happy to come and join in any way I can. I'm interfacing with Professor Lestrange up in Cairnport, and I know that he wants to join as well, so you will have us too. And Oromir kind of exchanges a glance with Descartes as the Archmage says this, and he puts his hand on the desk kind of near where the Archmage's hand would be and says, Archmage, with all due respect, your importance to both this mission and the one that we are planning hereafter, I think might be too important to risk your involvement. If anything happens to you now, we don't have a plan. I understand. It's disappointing, but I understand. I will send Lestrange then in my stead. He'll be my representative in this. And he kind of gives you a wink by you and says, but please make sure nothing happens to that old man.
Of course, I mean, if we get the gate open, once that happens, we're going to have to hold the Arcane College. So I don't think he'd have to leave the premises. I think he would be good to be staying there and helping with those efforts.
And as for my own commitments to you, Lieutenant, I, much like General Descartes, am in a difficult situation. To relieve my city and this realm of my troops would make us more vulnerable to attacks that are quite imminent on our borders. But I also respect the importance of this covert operation. I would be willing to send with you, say, five elven eagles and 15 eagle warriors.
Okay, well. The goal of what we're going to be doing might have to be changed a little bit. I don't think we can quite sweep the city with that. And I'm not sure if that was ever y'all's intention.
No, we need to sweep this city. The Yuan-Ti yoke has to be cut here. If they're able to secure the second biggest city on the southern coast, think of how quickly they're going to be able to link the two. There's nothing between Grand City and Ocharia. We might as well consider the entire Southern Ocean theirs.
Yeah, we already know they got ocean capabilities. So
you're the lieutenant here. Tell us what you need.
I mean, truthfully, what we need is I need 20 guys to run in, hopefully, half archers, and take the arcane. Once we take in the Arcane College and hold it, and then another 100 fighters at least to back out of there. We can get out of there. We can get over to the orphanage. It's been abandoned, and we can wait for the cavalry to come to take the Arcane College back, and we can take that, split those forces, and then take Fort Pike at that point. That's what I was hoping for. It's a good 100 fighters. 15, 12, 5. We have 12. That's plus 5 against 300. Yeah, it's pretty rough. Because I don't know if y'all been fighting them lately. The Yuan-Ti are really tough when they got enough magical dudes around. It's it's a problem.
You see General Descartes kind of fold his arms over his chest and take a step towards you and kind of look you up and down. And there's a pretty awkward silence in the room after you kind of make your demands and none of them reply. And General Descartes is watching you and he says, You're not the first Linden that I've worked with. If you're anything like the other, then I trust you.
Linden, which Linden would that be exactly?
And he just gives you a small smile. I need you to send me a message with exactly what you need. I'll send it to you. Tell me when the gates open, and White Tower will come to your aid.
Beautiful. I will detail it out. I got to work with the guys to make sure we get it all figured out, and we're gonna get more intel too. So anything I send you will have the most updated information.
And he gives you kind of a shallow bow and says, "Hi, General, Archmage Lieutenant. I must be getting to bed now. Keep me updated on the situation here, and I expect to hear from you soon, Lieutenant." And the fog that was kind of keeping him together just kind of billows over and becomes a small cloud in the room. And the Archmage gives both of you a large bow and says, "Vayo, Lieutenant Linden, we'll be in contact." And then
Sounds good.
his fog fades away. And with that, I want to go back to Ocharia.
We need to go back and talk to the guys. Fuck you, Fail.
Okay, we are now in Joe's house. I want to go to Ventus because I'm just as confused as y'all are.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot the whole feather. The whole feather
Well,
training.
it's okay.
Oh my god.
It's okay. It'll be okay.
Okay. Yeah, so we left off with you sitting on the wooden floor of this abandoned shop. It's eerie, it's dark, and it feels abandoned. There's overturned furniture, cobwebs, broken hardwood, the nine. And sitting in front of you, Indian style, is a young girl and a younger boy. And the two of them can't take their eyes off of your golden feather.
Giving kids drugs.
Hey kids, I will be right back. I need you guys to just sit here and wait 1 second. I'm gonna leave this room and go into the other room wherever like Thunder is, and
Are
whoever.
you taking the feather with you?
If you wait patiently, you'll get an extra big sniff when I come back.
And you see the two kids hold each other's hands, and the girl's knuckles are kind of white as she squeezes his hand. And they close their eyes and they try to wait.
And then I go like downstairs or into wherever the other room is. And I go to Thunder, and I go, "Hey Thunder, in my meditations with these kids, I've come up with a new idea to potentially cure them. So once they become a Yuan-Ti, why don't we just kill them and then reincarnate them and just hope they become a human again?"
I mean, you're not wrong. I could definitely do that.
Okay, so I might have gotten these kids really addicted to this feather, so I'm gonna knock them out, and then we can try it in the morning. Try saving them in the morning.
Well, tomorrow morning, the first thing I'll try is greater restoration.
Okay.
And
Cool.
if that doesn't work, we shall kill them.
Okay. I'm gonna go back up to the kids, and then
Okay.
see are their eyes closed, and do they
Yes,
see me walk in?
they're kind of struggling. And as soon as they hear like the floorboards creak as you step up, both of them open their eyes and like kind of wing their heads around to look at you as you step up. And the girl says, "Can we have the feather now?"
Mm-hmm. Just close your eyes, and I'll put it under your nose, and I'll tell you when you can take a big sniff.
And they both close their eyes.
Okay. And then what I want to do is I want to like give them the feather, and then as soon as they take like a hit, I want to like give them like a little karate chop on the neck and knock them out.
Okay. I want you to make 2 attack rolls for me. I guess
Yeah,
unarmed strikes.
0 damage. Oh shit.
Wait, where's
Just,
my
Your token is here if it helps.
Okay. I'm just looking for my
The unarmed strike is weird. It's actually under your items.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's super weird.
Gotcha. Do I have advantage on this?
You don't have advantage, but you'll see why.
Okay. Oh
Okay.
shit.
You that's the first hit that you do, first chop.
And this is the other for the other
And the
kid.
other. Yeah, the small boy chop was a little rough actually. You could feel that you didn't exactly like connect with his nervous system, but like he still passes out. And the girl you back to the karate chop on, and the two of them just kind of like slump down onto the ground.
And then I like kind of like put them in like I like tuck them away in like a comfortable position, so they're not just like like let them actually rest.
Mhm.
But also like kind of like bind their limbs in case they like turn and become evil in their sleep.
Okay. Yeah, they are bound, tied up,
Comfortably.
but comfortably with
Yes.
love.
And I will sit there and just like watch over them.
Oh, okay. You are not going back downstairs.
No.
And you wait.
And I'll have Froyo in my lap with me.
Okay. Okay. Downstairs. Aslos, what are you doing?
I don't really know. I thought I was gonna help the kids, but I think Aslan's honestly just gonna be chilling in the corner drinking. I mean, I kind of don't know. Everybody like left. Like I think I'm just waiting. So I think
Yeah.
I
Is
think
it
I'm
still
just like
nighttime?
Just read some books.
It is.
I'm
It's
like
kind of late
petting
at
my
night now.
cat, like talking to Gregor, my chess piece, like asking him knowledge, like and now like Gregor, I feel like used to be like my Bible, and now I'm like smarter than him. So I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah. I really like to imagine that y'all's relationship has changed drastically. Where yeah, before you would listen to anything he said, like undoubtedly.
because he
But
only says
now-
yes or no. So now I'm
Right.
like trying to have an intellectual conversation with him, and he's just not talking back.
Yeah. The conversations have changed wildly where you're trying to engage in some kind of like philosophical debate, and the only response he'll give you is yes or no, so it's almost more frustrating than it is rewarding for you. But
Like
but your
wishing
cat
he's John. Like I don't.
and your cat is purring in your lap. It's actually kind of cozy. And you can feel the hair on the back of your cat's neck kind of stick up as quickly your cat wakes up and is kind of looking around the room like cats do, where they don't really see anything, but they're still like really enraptured by something.
Yeah.
And that's when you see flying down the staircase is Miss Hawthorne. And Miss Hawthorne has something in her talons as she kind of swings through the room and drops in the middle of the room. You can see a giant rat.
Yeah.
Alive?
It's alive, yeah. And it kind of like drops to the ground, and it takes a second to kind of get up and looks around the room, and then kind of pauses and looks at you, Aslos. And I want to stress, this rat is not a normal sized rat. We're talking
Yeah.
maybe like the size of like maybe like a large cat.
Yeah. So, I mean, Aslos gonna break out the big old spell book of his, and I want my like eyes to start glowing and get like a little bit of green, and I want to cast Speak to Animals.
Okay, yeah. You make a connection with this rat, and I want you to make a perception check for me.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see that beyond just the size of this rat, there are other things kind of unnatural about it. You can see that its claws have been sharpened to like extremely fine points. You can see that its two front incisors, like the rat teeth, have been also sharpened to 2 points. They almost look like a vampire. And its tail has like metal plating on it, like a little bit of like armor almost. And I guess Thunder, are you also down here?
I believe so.
Yeah, so you would kind of watch all of this going down. The
Right.
rat noticeably looks at Aslos, so you're just kind of observing.
Hmm.
So I want to just look directly in the rat's direction, like it's totally normal for me to have a conversation with it and be like, what are you doing here?
And it looks at you. You can see that your cat has gone from like kind of protective of you to afraid of this creature. And the rat looks at you and says back, "But I don't know. That bird took me."
From where? Where were you? Like how did you come to be here?
I was on the streets, gathering information.
For who? You're a rat.
And when you ask that, the rat kind of stands up on its hind legs and looks at you and says, "My king."
King. What kind of king? Like, what you got like a person king somewhere? Like, and he trains you, or what? Like, what is this?
And the rat kind of slowly walks over to you and is now directly in front of you and extends a tiny little hand, like to shake your hand. He says, "I'm sorry, what is your name?"
Aslos. What is your name?
And the rat kind of, it almost has like a radish smile as it pulls back its lips and shows its 2 teeth, and he says, "Ned."
Oh,
Ned.
shit. It's Ned!
And I'm gonna go over
Fucking
to
Ned!
Jen.
So over in the underworld, Yokizoz is just like, my boy.
What was Ned doing?
Yeah, I wonder what Ned's doing right now.
That's awesome. Tail play. I love the tail play.
Now Ned's all confident and cool and shit. Yeah.
Jen, you are disguised,
Yes.
and you are yes, you are confidently heading towards Fort Pike. Is that correct?
Correct.
And I want you to roll me a perception check as you're on your way.
Okay. Sorry.
Oof.
I made your roll perception check. I don't know if it's necessarily necessary. You just won't get as many details. But as you are heading towards Fort Pike, you can see the small island in the middle of the river. And as you are walking towards it, you can also see it's the same ship that Thunder saw in the middle of the channel. And you can see that this ship is kind of too large for the river, if that makes sense. Like it's blocking the entire river channel. And you can see several drow are kind of investigating it. It's not marked in any way. The sails have no markings. It's large and well built, but not pretty by any means. And they're just trying to kind of survey it and understand why it's here in this channel. And you head towards the fort.
So are there like other soldiers entering the fort as well?
Yeah, so if you look at this picture, this is kind of what the entrance to Fort Pike looks like as the bridge extends over the channel. And you can see that at this late at night, because it's probably getting close to like 1 to 2 in the morning now, there is not that much activity. There's maybe a drow here walking across. I think what would shock you, maybe not shock, that's strong. I think that you would be able to notice the lack of Yuan-Ti. And I want you to roll either an insight
This part.
or I guess a history check for me. One of the two. I'll let you pick. And you would maybe come to your own unproven thought, like this is just your own personal theory, that the drow are the ones that are kind of upkeeping the more menial tasks, whereas the Yuan-Ti have the more important jobs. So it kind of feels as though like the guards, the patrol, all of these roles are filled by the drow, whereas the Yuan-Ti are above that. So as you head over the bridge to Fort Pike, you can see a drow here and there, either like taking a smoke or kind of guarding the bridge. And there are two drow standing on the other side of the bridge that leads onto the island of Fort Pike.
And so I kind of want to like walk slowly and see how other soldiers interact when they're passing the guards to see if they can kind of tip me off.
And roll me another perception check as you kind of watch for this.
Oof.
As far as you can tell, they just kind of walk past. There isn't a gate or anything. There's just this bridge and it leads onto the island. And there are two drow kind of watching it, but people are just kind of passing it by.
So I guess I'll just confidently, fall in line and march in.
Yeah. And as you kind of walk in, you just kind of casually walk over the bridge. I'll move token. As you move over the bridge, one of the guards kind of looks at you and gives you a nod, and you walk on to Fort Pike. Fort Pike is exactly as this drawing depicts. Half of it is mostly just kind of grassland, like pasture side, and then the other half of it is the actual fort. It has high walls that kind of rise around the fort, and it has an actual gate to enter it. This gate is guarded. It's manned, and you can see past the gate that is currently open, a small courtyard, and then the actual fort itself within the walls.
So as I'm walking in, how many guards were posted out front, and how many
There
what
are
the...
two on the bridge watching everyone that goes onto the island, and then there are two more guarding the actual gate.
Okay, and then is there any in like the top of the walls or anything, or is it just those four guys?
Roll me another perception check to see.
David, I suck at perception.
You are kind of unable to tell in the dark of night. I think that you could safely assume that yes, the walls have guards, but it's not as though you're able to like kind of like point them out and say like, okay, there's one walking past now. I
Curse
think
my
that's a
poor
safe
vision.
assumption.
Okay. And can I tell what kind of mechanism controls the gate? Is it like a lever or crank? Or...
Yeah, it appears to be like a crank gate.
Okay. And as far as I know, there's only two entrances into Fort Pike, right?
Yeah, you can see these two bridges that lead onto the island, and then the only entrance you have seen into the actual fort walls so far is just this gate.
All right, so I want to, I guess, proceed, continuing deeper into Fort Pike.
Yeah, and you can see that for a drow, the security is actually quite lax. You stroll through the gate. One of the drow again kind of nods to you. It has been swimmingly easy thus far. And as you stroll into the actual walls, next time I'll have a map made for you. I didn't make one this time. That's my
He's
bad.
okay.
But you can kind of use like this little map here on the actual city map. You can see the walls here. You have entered like right here-ish. And so now you're actually within the walls of Fort Pike. The island and the fort kind of share a name nowadays, but this is Fort Pike proper, as you are now within the walls. You can see that there's a courtyard, like a grass courtyard, and then directly in front of you is the large fort itself. It's tall and it's imposing. It kind of looks like that picture I linked, just to get a general idea of atmosphere. And within the walls, you can see it is, even at like 2 a.m., it's kind of bustling with activity. They're armored drow walking around, practicing, in conversation, kind of working on their weapon craft. You can see that even up on the walls now, you can kind of see the shadows of drow moving. This appears to be, from what you can gather. Actually, I want you to roll me an insight check to see if you would put this together. And you do. As you're walking through the walls of Fort Pike, you kind of come to the conclusion that Fort Pike, while it's important to this whole operation, as you know that this is where all of the goods of the city travel through first before reaching the keep, you also realize that this is the main housing station of the drow. The drow were kind of de-escalated to Fort Pike while the Yuan-Ti took the keep. Because there's not a Yuan-Ti soul here that you can see.
So, what kind of personnel is around me?
There are people just kind of walking around, moving things. You can see that a lot of the drow here are working as almost like it looks like, not movers, but they're like preparing equipment and weaponry and whatnot. There are people walking into the actual fort, like inside the building itself. And then there are the two guards behind you. No one's really stopping to talk with you or anything. They're just kind of drow passing by in front of you.
So I'm gonna look around, Okay, so I'm gonna walk up to a group of soldiers, and I'm gonna say, "I'm looking for Captain Artillis."
And immediately, all of the drow kind of give you an ugly look. And the one kind of in the front of this group of maybe 4 drow turns to fully face you and says to you in Under Elvish, "Qu'est-ce que c'est?"
Oh shit. I'm going to nod. Uh-huh.
And as you nod, the group of them kind of look at each other, and he takes a step forward and says, "Qu'est-ce que c'est?"
Artillis, I shout back.
And I want you to roll me an insight or perception check.
Oh no.
It's not gonna be interesting.
You don't have to talk to anybody.
Hey, at least there's no negatives. There's just a plus. Or +0.
Oh shit, the actual natural.
Here we go. Here we go.
So you're quickly. This is what you've been trained for. You're a thief. You're reading their body language,
Thank
picking up
God.
on every minute detail, the way their faces are changing, the way his chest is beginning to breathe heavier, and you perfectly insight that this is going very bad very quickly.
I knew it.
Jin just didn't know it yet.
In the way that you maybe have seconds before this actually breaks bad.
Don't remain limp.
And the group of them kind of exchange glances, and he takes a step forward one more time and says in Under Elvish,
I'm going to smoke bomb and run away.
Batman this hoe.
Okay, you smoke bomb. Wait, what is a smoke bomb?
I don't know. I actually wait. Oh, I know. I use my Umbra and activate darkness.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. You use Light Snatcher's darkness.
Oh yeah, absorb all the light.
And what does that look like?
So it's kind of like them
Guess
getting
nothing.
very suspicious of me and me starting to sweat bullets and looking left and right to think fast. And I grab the hilt of Light Snatcher and activate it and just start dashing. Naruto running away.
Awesome. And this is one of the Light Snatcher's active doesn't get used super often.
Nope.
And so yeah, you kind of pull Light Snatcher out of the hilt or out of the sheath and grab its hilt, and in a flash, all of the light in the fort, this courtyard area, just disappears. You're in perfect darkness.
And I go into stealth.
And you run. And now give me a great stealth check, and I'll give you advantage on this because there's no light. So I mean,
Literally, you just have to be kind of
Easy.
quiet.
yeah, it's okay. Yeah, and back in your natural habitat, in your natural environment, you slip into the darkness and you run as fast as you can. You make it past the guards at the gate. As you cast darkness, there's a lot of yelling. You can hear a lot of Under Elvish being yelled. And you can even hear the gate mechanism beginning to come down as they kind of go into lockdown mode. But with a stealth check that good, I think you are more than nimble enough to race toward the gate, eke your way out, and once you are outside of the fort, there is no more magical darkness. Once you're outside of the walls, it's just contained in that area. So I'm gonna guess that you just continue running in stealth, or I guess you just continue stealthing your way out.
Well, I'm still appearing as a drow, so I figure I just start casually strolling away as if I was on patrol duty.
I see.
Power
I see.
walk.
Roll me just a quick, just for funsies, a performance check.
Easy. And since I am performing as someone else, I get advantage, I think.
Oh,
Defeat.
very cool.
Smack my ketchup.
Yeah,
Actor.
very
I am
cool.
an actor.
And yeah, once you kind of make your way onto the bridge, you slip into character. Because you are an actor. And you are just Forless. Out on his shift,
I am Forless.
you are Forless. You slip perfectly into character. And where do you go once you're past the bridge?
I guess back towards Joe's
Mhm.
to report in on
Makes sense.
what I found.
And
What did you
as
find?
you are walking past the river now in character you can see that the drow that were investigating the large ship are pulled off of it due to the alarm at Fort Pike. So they leave the
Ooh.
ship.
So actually, I want to go sneak onto that boat
Okay.
with that distraction that I caused. I want to go
Roll
check
me
out what's
a-
on there.
Roll me another sneak check. Stealth check as you
Easy.
begin to make your way up onto the ship. Yeah. You kind of make your way up onto the catwalk, very quietly make your way onto the deck. And like I described, it's a large ass ship. This thing's huge. Takes up almost the entire river. And you are now on the ship.
I'm gonna use my hat of disguise to give myself a very generic pirate outfit
Okay.
to kind of blend in on the ship.
You're
And
now a
I'm gonna-
swashbuckler rogue.
Yeah, and I'm gonna like go down into the hold.
Yeah, on the deck itself, there really isn't anything. It's quite empty, weirdly enough. Which I think in its own way, maybe not to you because you aren't super familiar with like ships, but in its own way would be kind of suspicious. And you make your way into the hull, and as you go deeper into the ship, into the second level, you can see that it is filled to the nine with cargo. Crates and barrels. There's hardly enough room to walk. You can see a lot of tools have been left behind by the drow that were beginning to investigate it, such as crowbars and whatnot. And I think that you would be able to insight without a check that they were about to try to find what was in all of this cargo.
And am I getting? Can I roll like an insight check to see if any of the cargo looks like it could be more important than any of the other cargo?
Sure. Roll an insight check or a perception check. I guess you like insight, huh? No,
Or
it
like
all
you-
looks the exact same.
God
But like I said, it's absolutely filled.
And is there any kind of Do I hear anything? Is there any kind of people still on the ship?
That would be a perception check. Not,
I'm just
you have
deaf
no
and
idea.
blind. I cannot perceive the outside world.
Yeah, the cargo all looks like pretty much the same. It's all unmarked, wooden crates, wooden barrels, and you are unable to hear it all in this storm. It's raining outside still.
Okay, I would like to pick a crate at random and put it into my bag of holding.
This crate is too big for that.
All of them? Okay.
Yeah, when I describe it, this crate, I'm gonna say it's like this tall and like this
Oh,
wide.
shit.
And you like kind of try to heave it, and it is way beyond what you could pick up.
So it's like also super heavy?
Yeah, very dense.
Okay, I'm gonna turn back into Forless, and I'm gonna go to the captain's chambers.
Okay.
Is like there anyone there?
So you walk into the captain's chambers, and you find something that I think even to someone like you that is completely unfamiliar with like shipping vessels, you are quite surprised, and it kind of raises the alarm for you two. And with that, I want to go back to Fail. So now, Fail, it's just you and the High General Orimir sitting at his desk.
Pretty late at night.
What's that?
Yeah, it's pretty late at night.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, I'm not sure when I should leave. I think I need to sleep for a little while, and then I'm gonna have
You
to
need a
teleport
room.
on back to Ocharia.
If you need a room, we can provide you with.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to wake up. Let me think. Cause I'm pretty attuned with this. I'm pretty attuned with this helmet nowadays, right?
Yeah.
So I know how it work. I kind of know how it works.
Yeah, I'd say you're familiar with it.
Yeah, I think I need to leave before the sun rises in Ocharia, which will be like in like a few hours. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna take a nap. Unless there's anything else you need to know. I mean, we need more information, and hopefully Jen's getting good information right now. Hopefully somebody's about to be going in the sewers, figure out what's going on down there. I'm really worried about the sewers, General.
And
It's
he
like a whole different.
kind of gives you a shrug, which takes you off guard, and he says, "I don't mean to apply undue pressure, but this operation is completely commanded by you."
Well, the black, you know,
As
diamond
far as
dragons.
we are
and all
concerned, the organized militaries, you are our representative in Ocharia.
Well, we'll come up with a good plan to use everybody who's coming over here, and I guarantee you, Jen and Aslos and Ventus, and definitely we got a freaking druid. He can turn into animals, right? Thunder. They're gonna be doing all kinds of cool stuff. It's gonna be awesome. They're gonna be able to, because here's the deal. I think we're gonna have to take the left side of the city, the whole river, the Fort Pike, and all that, and that's what we need to do. Focus on. But they're gonna at one point break open the key.
He kind of raises his hand and he says, I don't mean to disparage your party, Lieutenant. I just mean to say that when it comes to this operation, you have more knowledge and information than any of us here. So we are trusting you with whatever decisions you need to make.
Okay, I appreciate it. I'm definitely going to be taking some notes, and once we get more information, I'm going to let you know Because I mean, I don't need just 100 guys. I need some archers. We need some bully boys, some big guys, right? We need some sneak. It looks like your Eagle Warriors. What about these Eagle Warriors? What are they about? They're not battle dancers, are they? They're not battle dancing or nothing like that, right?
No, their specialty lies with being able to fight with the war eagles.
Ah, okay. That's gonna be huge, actually. Okay, see, I gotta know these things.
And it sounds as though General Descartes is generously offering whatever you might need. He has a well-trained army. You will be happy with whatever he's able to provide.
Yeah, well, I think if we take the Arcane College, we'll be able to set up some plans to predict their next moves. You know what I'm saying? Be where they don't think we're at, attack them when they're not ready. Boom, boom, bam. We can do some stuff. It's gonna be good. And then whatever happens in the keep, we'll see. Thunder's got to get his dad released. That's gonna be a big part.
He kind of stands as like a dismissal and gives you a small smile and says, "The city of Orchids is in your hands now, File." And he gives a bigger smile and says, "Lieutenant."
I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity. I'm not gonna let you down. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna come up with a plan. We got this. I'm gonna go get some sleep, sir.
He walks like around from the desk and puts a hand on your shoulder and says, kind of more quiet, more personably, less in uniform, "Good night, File." And steps out from the office.
Yeah, I go to bed happy, like pumped up, million ideas going in my head, and thinking about a lot of stuff.
Mine's going a mile an hour. That fast.
And you go to bed. I'm gonna go back now to Joe's Exotics. Ventus, you're still just watching the kids. Are you falling asleep at all?
Yeah, I'm like slowly nodding and just like making sure that the kids and Froyo are like resting peacefully.
Yeah, and Froyo is in your arms. She's kind of like dragon purring. It's kind of similar to cat purring, but a little deeper and a little louder. In between purring and snoring. And Froyo has a really like kind of unique quality about her in that her skin is quite cold to your feathers. Her scales, I should say, are quite cold to your feathers. But the underside of her belly is really warm. So you kind of have this like strange like heater cooler thing going on. And so your feathers are kind of warming up but then also getting cold at the same time. And she's snoozing in your arms as the two of you kind of fall asleep together. And in the basement below you, Thunder, you are watching Aslos have a conversation with a giant rat that has just introduced himself as Ned to you. And Aslos, I want you to roll me an insight check.
Okay.
Fucking Ned. He wasn't with us for very long.
Why did he leave?
Well, so like I got Ned as a pet, right? Because I got him from Rat.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then,
So I thought you always had him.
well, what happened was I got Ned as a pet, and then I went to Joe's Exotics and rolled a D100 and got a telepathic mouse and a crab right after I just got Ned. So it made sense with the whole Rat King thing to just let Ned go out, let Ned go in the sewers, and I just kept the two other pets I had. Also, Scratches hated Ned, so.
Aslos, you you can't remember Ned specifically, but you do remember Jokizoz having like a mouse and a rat, like a bunch of small creatures in his possession. That is curious to you, but I don't think you would necessarily make that connection just yet. And so you shake the little rat's hand.
Yeah, I would kind of be like, Ned.
And he kind of squints back at you and says, Aslos.
Thunder. You know what? You know a Ned. I mean, I feel like I've heard of a Ned. Is that one of the Jokizo's? Is that one of his? Do you know that?
And are you
Yeah.
able to roll an insight check for me, Thunder?
Let me roll.
Yeah, but let me roll real quick first. Fourth wall.
Gets a 1. Nah, I haven't heard of a Ned. Oh.
Ned? No.
Yep, haven't heard of
You
you.
said insight.
Yes, insight. Thunder, you do remember Ned. Jokizoz definitely had a rat named Ned. Not for long, but he was like a part of y'all's party for a moment.
Yeah, he kind of looks familiar. I don't think I ever really, communicated with him at all.
And now, Ned is going to roll an insight check to see if he remembers the two of you.
Come on, Ned.
Yeah, he does.
Oh!
And as he's kind of shaking your little hand, he looks at you, Aslos, and says, "Wait a second." And he turns on the Thunder. And I know you. I saw you once.
Do you really know us though? I mean, yeah, we've met a lot of. I mean, okay.
Yes, I once belonged to a giant lizard. He was warm. And he had a monstrous mouse with him, who cast me away.
Now I know Scratches, but it doesn't really seem like
Yes!
somebody Jokizoz would have.
Scratches! Scratches
Ooh.
the Insufferable, as I have named him in my own mind.
Well,
Ah, beautiful.
I mean, I guess you kind of do, but oh, okay. So Ned, I mean, you got this. What is? Let's go back to this king thing. Like I remember, I thought you were smaller. Like when did you get to? What was all this like armor and stuff you have now?
And he raises one little tiny rat finger and says, "First, I would like to ask, where is Jokizoz?" And scratches the Insufferable. Why? Where is the? Actually, there were more people than this the last time I was with you.
Oh, well, I mean, Jokizoz, I mean, he's one of the most heroic people, in the world. Like,
He is,
him and
very much
Scratches
so.
are off,
Well, no,
changing the
not
world
with
without you.
Scratches.
Oh no.
Like, I mean, as you know, I mean, nothing's going to hold him and Scratches back. I mean, they're taking over the world together. But, I mean,
kind of looks at the ground.
he has to remember you, though. I mean,
Had to be. Scratches the Insufferable. You know, I was cast by Jokizoz to settle an impossible task of which Scratches the Insufferable could not accomplish.
yes, and what would that task
And
be?
I was successful.
Oh, successful. So what have you done? Tell us.
I found him. In the Undercity. The Pike.
Found who?
The sewers. They all lead him. And he kind of looks up at you and
Thunder,
makes direct eye contact.
who the fuck is he talking about? What is this?
The Rat King? I don't know.
Rat King?
And when you say that,
found the Rat King.
and when you say that, Ned looks at you like, almost like horror struck. Yes. The rat. I found him.
Is he an actual rat?
And then he turns his head to look at you. I'm guessing you also cast Speak with Animals.
Yeah, I have my ring, so it's a
true.
free spell.
Yes. And he turns his head to look at you and says, "You could not begin to understand what I've seen. Cities. Rats. All of them. This is the city ran by rats, you know."
Well, we need your help. This city, I mean, as you can see, I mean, you're clearly not doing a great. This Rat King's clearly not doing a great job of, stopping these, crazy ass drow and all this from taking over. We need your help here.
My king works of his own accord. He has decided that the time is right. That we must restrike to regain
throne he must always help. Also, Manny, will you please mute?
Yeah, I was about to say.
I already muted him.
The time is right. We must restore the king to his rightful throne.
Rightful throne, which is what? Isn't he in his rightful throne? You're in the sewers already. I mean, based on what you're telling me, and if you found him in the cities, and
his eyes kind of widen a little bit, and he says,
Rightful throne. The city ran by rats.
the king of Ocharia, the people city. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work out. I wish Jin was here. He'd set you straight.
I am willing to speak with him for you, as I have done for Jokizoz. But you must understand, we have one goal, and that is to bring the Rat King to his rightful place. If that is not in accordance with your goals, then perhaps we do not share the same goals.
Well, let me put it this way. If we give the Rat King Ocharia, will you help us kill off all of the crazy ass drow and stuff out here?
The snakes.
Oh yeah, those two, yeah.
There are so many snakes now.
Yeah, we need your help. Like if we do this and you help us, I mean, it's kind of your city, you know what I'm saying? Rat King, you could be second in command, Ned. You're looking pretty good. I can do that. I can do that, Ned. But you have to help us.
I will speak to my king about it. I cannot make any kind of promises without speaking to my king first.
Now, Ned, I can make promises, and let me tell you, this city, yours. If you help us take it over, but we need everybody, every last rat. We need like the whole lot to come on up, kill them off in the sewers. Like, you don't even want to know how happy Fail would be if she heard that you're gonna get a rat army.
Very well.
Yeah, is Miss Hawthorne doing anything? Because she's been on a hunt for these orphans for a while.
Miss Hawthorne is sitting in the corner of the room, just kind of watching, because this was kind of like her doing, right? So she is just kind of watching what she has done, observing.
She's paying attention to what's unfolding. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, she's just kind of preening herself as she listens to this conversation unfold. And Ned looks at you, Aslos, and says,
I will have to, King.
Yeah, I mean, Ned, we gotta go quick though. You know, like if you know, like we're all gonna attack, but if these lizards don't die, I mean, not me's. I'm not getting the city. The king's not getting the city. No one's getting the city. We don't go quick here. So,
very well.
You know, like your king or whatever. We're kind of on a schedule. You know, we gotta kill everybody off really quick. Like it's got to be really fast. We're having a meeting right now to we're trying to get a portal open. I mean, it's a lot, Ned. I mean, probably too much for a rat. You know.
There's nothing that is too rat.
Mm.
I will be off.
Yeah, I used to say that, but now I'm smart. You probably met dumb me, the one that breaks things. Yeah, I mean, that's a long time ago. Yeah.
And he kind of gives you probably the most questionable look that a rat could give, and goes back on all fours and says,
"We will speak again soon."
You need to hurry, man. We need you.
And he scampers off to the wall, and pushes himself into a large pipe. And you can hear kind of as a murmur from the pipes that he wedges himself into as it reverberates into the room.
The city ran by rats. And he's gone.
And when he leaves, Mrs. Hawthorne opens up her wings, pulls herself into the air, and flies out of the room.
Sweet.
And Jen, you walk into the room.
Should have been like, it's too much for a rat, but not for Scratches the mouse.
Hello, friends.
Actually, I want to describe this a little bit. Because you walk into the top of the shop, where you see two half Yuan-Ti children, half human, half Yuan-Ti, bound carefully and rested up against a wall where they are out cold. And sitting facing them across from them is Ventus, who is asleep, and Froyo, who is asleep. You don't have to do anything with it, but I just want to make sure you do see this. You just want to walk past them?
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, so you at least witness what has happened here, and you step downstairs, and have now entered the Topside Tiger's base, where Aslos and Thunder are sitting.
Jen, what's up, man?
Dude, who knew Drow could speak under Elvish? What the fuck?
They can? What happened?
Apparently.
Did you get caught?
Definitely did get caught. You know, it's fucking me.
That's true.
But I couldn't, I was trying to find Captain Artillis, and they just would only reply in Undercommon, and I didn't know what to do.
So I just got a whole rat army for us. We're gonna win.
A
The
rat
king.
army? What?
Yeah, he's coming. Yeah.
How did that
Jen.
happen?
Well, I was sitting here enjoying my ale, petting my cat, right? In flies, that ghost thing that, or whatever the fuck it is that, Fael has, right?
Miss
And
Hawthorne?
yeah. Yeah. Is that its name? Okay,
Uh-huh,
never mind.
yeah,
But
it is.
yeah, drops a rat. And it's Ned. You remember? I guess we know Ned, but Yokizoz's old thing.
Hold on.
And we're talking.
Hold on, and roll me an insight check to see if you remember.
Yeah, Jen's got it. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, Jen, I know
I
exactly
was-
who you're talking about.
Nedris the Third.
Oh,
Of course,
whoa,
I remember
that's the
Ned.
title. Well, I did not remember Ned. So, yeah. So he has found the Rat King, and the rats want all of Ocharia in return for helping us. So I said yes. And it was great. I mean,
I don't
it's
know if we
gonna
could
be
just
great.
promise Ocharia to the rat people. Did he say anything about the missing orphans? Does the
I
Rat King have them?
didn't ask about that one.
Oh no.
Well, we needed help. I mean, I was
No, it's
drunk.
okay.
I mean,
you did good, Aslos. You did good. We need to find him again and find those missing kids because we really fucked up.
Well, I didn't get his number. I don't really know how we're gonna find him again. He has going to talk to the king right now, and he's gonna give us soldiers for the sewers and stuff.
Well, we'll just call a Miss Hawthorne for him and have her drop him back by again.
Well, we should let him talk to the king first. Maybe we should do it
Oh, for
tomorrow.
sure. For sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but we're good. I mean, Ned,
Well-
whatever the third that you just said, he's gonna help us.
We might need to, go back on our word and betray them after they help us because we can't just give them Ocharia. That's
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, Rat King. Ooh. It's probably nothing. He's probably got like 4 people down there, right?
I mean, those are probably our rats. We raised those at Ratton with our funds. So
I mean, I'm just
really,
assuming Ned's making it up. So I mean, he's gonna go back to his friends down there and tell the 3
Ned
of them they're gonna
wouldn't do
come
that.
up.
Okay.
Okay, you're speaking for a character check on this rat that we knew. How long we know? Didn't Joe sell?
I
to him?
knew Ned. Okay.
You knew Ned.
I rolled an 18.
Well,
He was an honest rat, and that's why I was kind of surprised when Jokizoz decided to part ways with him.
Well, hey, I mean, come on, his scratches is so much better.
Is he though?
I mean, it's like mind shit. I mean, it's, you know.
If you did a
It's a
history
mouse.
check, Yokizo's asked Ned what he wanted, and he wanted to go fucking find the Rat King. So.
And actually, Jen, I will let you roll.
Yeah.
You remember, Jen, as you kind of begin to deep digger into your mind, that you don't remember it being what Ned wanted, but you remember specifically Yokizo's, like, not releasing him, but like sending him to find answers related to like the whole Ratten thing.
Yeah, he was definitely tasked with a mission. This wasn't his choice.
Well, he said he
I rolled
did
a
it.
14.
So. I mean, he did it. That's
Yeah.
all he really
I
wanted
mean,
to tell me,
regardless,
so.
that's how he feels.
Hmm.
And we
Well,
have
I
to
mean,
take that into consideration.
he seemed nice. He shook my hand. I mean,
Wow. Well, yeah. Hopefully
he's
we
got
can.
armor now. Did you know that? They do armor now. I guess rats just going
Do
crazy
armor
these
now.
days.
That's So they have a whole rat army. You're not with tiny swords and everything.
Yeah, like
That is outrageous.
tens or
That is outrageous.
yeah. No, I
Alright.
mean
I mean,
they make
yeah.
armor to fit rats, not for Aslos. No big deal, whatever. But yeah, no, but like yeah, he said he was gonna go tell his king, and if the king is down, which you know my promise told him he could have the city. I mean, he's gonna be pretty down. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna kill everybody. We're gonna be good. We're basically not gonna have to do anything. That's the best part.
I
He
think
said it's the city of rats. The key, it's rats only city. That's basically what he was trying
Wow.
to tell me.
that sounds quite intriguing.
Yeah,
Um,
they hate lizards though. Apparently, it's just not their
shit.
thing.
Good thing Jokizoz isn't here.
I know. Well, maybe
So-
not Yokizoz, but the other ones.
I think we need to set up a meeting between us and the Rat King. Find out what's really going on.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, Ned said that. I mean, he's terrified of him. I guess he's met him, but he is so scared. So I mean, maybe I told him he's gonna go speak to him right now. But I mean, if he comes back to us, hopefully we get a little bit more information.
Oh shit! We should have had him bring him to us right now. We could have just cut the middleman out.
Yeah, I again, I don't really know what we're dealing with here. I mean, I assume this is kind of a joke, but this is obviously a bigger deal to more people than maybe I was the wrong person to speak to him. But
No, it's fine. We'll wait to hear back from him. Until then, have you heard from Fayo?
oh, yeah, I forgot she left. No.
Well, I
Uh,
gathered my
I think
intel.
we went to sleep.
And Thunder, is there anything that you would like to add to this conversation?
No, all I'm thinking about is how I'm gonna save these kids.
Okay, yeah, you are a little
How
deep
do
in
I
thought.
save these kids?
How do I save these kids? You're
Reach these
quiet
keys.
in the corner, just kind of thinking about that. Maybe fiddling
Do I
with your
just sound like?
dagger.
Do I sound more Latin than usual just now?
No, it's a quote. Movie quote.
I was like, does COVID make me sound more Mexican? What the fuck?
Eric Carmenez from
Oh yeah.
South Park.
Yeah, no, it's a quote. Okay. Is there anything that the three of you would like to do before you rest?
Yes, actually. So Jin, where'd you go? Like, you just
yeah.
we skipped to the rat thing. So where were you?
So I went into Fort Pike. I saw a little bit of their defenses guarding the gates. I think we can take them. And then I ran away. And my distraction that I caused lured some guards away from this boat. And then I went on this really big boat where there's lots of treasure. And I think we should go take it.
treasure? Or you didn't. How do you know it's treasure? You didn't bring anything
I mean, it
back?
was just heavy boxes, like really big, heavy boxes. So something good had to be in there.
Or like a big boat, or like this little, like what do you?
No, it was like a huge boat. Like,
Oh, it sounds like our kind of thing.
yeah. So I think there's definitely something going on there.
Is it just Drow there, or there Yuan-Ti as well?
I didn't see any Yuan-Ti. It was just Drow, but that doesn't mean they weren't there.
Well, when we take the city, we're definitely keeping the boat. I think that's all.
Okay.
Aslos just gonna pass out in the corner because he was basically drunk during this entire conversation with the rat. And
I do like that.
It's like 3 o'clock in the morning or something.
Yeah, that little bit of flavor that Aslos isn't even totally sure that it actually happened.
Wakes up in the morning. What? What?
And yeah, you all long rest. Is there anything, Thunder, that you would like to do before you rest? I know you got spells and whatnot that you might want to whip out.
No, I've definitely been just looking forward to passing out so I can get these spells.
Okay, cool. Then let's have the group of you all take a long rest. And I think I actually want to end the session there. I know it's a little bit early, but it's just such a good stopping point.
That's
Yeah, get all of y'all long rested, and then we can pick up next session with all of y'all waking up from your long rest on the next day.
Would I be able to do a quick spell in the middle of the night after my 8 hours?
Well, it wouldn't be the end of the night anymore, would it? Or
Well,
middle
you
of the
suck.
night. Middle of the
A
night.
quick
that.
spell after 8 hours.
What I want to know, what spell were you wanting to cast?
Now that we're using Tasha's books or Tasha's rules or whatever, I wanted to cast divination.
Hey, that's
Good
my
add.
spell.
What does that do?
I can see that.
You can like speak to God.
I wanted to ask. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say with the Tasha's thing, I did want y'all to kind of like vote on it. I guess I just want to make sure that everyone's okay, like wants to.
Yeah, we're cool with it.
I'm
Yeah,
okay with
cool.
it.
I don't think anyone would be against
I'm
it.
hella buffed.
I just want to make sure.
So buff.
I guess I'm cool
Oh,
with getting a
shit.
slight buff. Jesus.
Okay, then yes, that's fine. Okay, cool.
I am trying to teleport
You know-
back before the sun rises in Ocharia, though.
You know,
Okay.
Manny, you can cast divination as a ritual, which means you can just spend 10 minutes to cast it before you go to bed. For
I'm
free.
gonna do that.
No spell slot needed.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay, in that case, well, since it's early and you're doing it before your long rest, I want to see what you're trying to do with this divination. For those that don't know, this is the text of the spell. So what is your offering?
A good berry.
I mean, would you expect anything less?
I guess I walked into that one.
Duh.
Or would you expect anything more?
One.
It's too Alargian.
Okay. So describe to me kind of what you channel in your mind as you try to reach out to a Largian.
I'm thinking back to the time where I was in the woods with the wildlings, and I felt how very connected they were as a people and in their religion,
Yes.
and almost as if I wanted to go back there because I felt like I wasn't alone in that culture.
Okay. Great question. So, or great channel. You get to ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. So my question to you is, what is that question?
My answer to you, in the form of a question, is a large man. Will I cure these kids?
Will I cure these kids? So, after a little bit of time of channeling, you kind of feel a connection once again with that same feeling of wildness in the forest. And as you have your eyes closed, you can feel the breeze of the wind kind of brush up against your fur. You can feel the warmth of the sun warming you up. You can hear birds and the rustling of leaves up in the trees as the wind blows through it. And probably closer to you than any other aspect of nature, you can feel the kind of the tickle of rain on your fur as you become damp. And you can hear above you the rumbling of thunder. And as you experience all of these different aspects of nature, you hear a voice in your head respond to you. And she answers your question in your head and says to you, "You will, but not in the way that you're hoping to."
Fuck.
And slowly, the rustling of the leaves disappears, the sounds of wind fade away, and all you are left with is the sound of the rain and the booming of the thunder.
Am I still holding the good berry?
And the good berry is gone.
Fuck.
No! My 1 HP.
Alright, I go back to I go lay down.
And you go to sleep.
And I have, like,
Thunder does divination once, gets to talk straight to God. Yukizoz does it like 80 times, and I get to talk to a dwarf.
Rough beats.
Ripping pieces.
Pick a different god.
That's funny. All right, and that's where we'll end our session. I don't think everyone was in here when I said it, but I will not be able to play next week. I have a business trip that I have to go on and won't have access. So we will not be playing next week, and so we will resume the following week.
Okay.
Hey Jacob,
Hey Manny.
never underestimate the power of an offering of a good berry, bitch.
So you failed. A
The
good
good
berry.
berry.
Level 1 spell. And just one of the 5 you can produce.
Glorious.
It's 5, right?
Well, that was
I
fun.
thought it was 10.
Yeah, good job, guys.
Oh. 10.
Yeah,
That
that's a
makes
good
it even
one.
less valuable.
Conversation with Ned was just awesome.
Yeah, I came
The
out of
perfect
nowhere.
person to
That
have
was
it with him.
I'm like the least connected to Ned by like a fuck on mile, like, and the whole rat
You
king
literally
thing.
had
I'm
Oh,
like
yeah,
just met with
yeah.
the party. You like didn't even really know Jokizoz at that time. Like there's like no, I guess we did the Aaron Valley stuff together. No, you weren't there for that. Yeah, you showed
yeah,
up
I
after.
wasn't there for that. So the rat king is just like over my head entirely.
Like you met Ned in the one tavern in that town outside of Ocharia for that one night, and that's it.
Yep. And I remember scratches. That's it.
Well,
I
it's because
was there for
I've
that.
used scratches like a 20 times since.
And
then.
bubbles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bubbles.
I don't really use bubbles. I don't want him to die, so he just kind of stays. He's immortal, but he's not invulnerable. He can't die due to old age, but he can get stepped on and killed. So.
Yeah.
Or I
That's
don't know.
not-
What is the definition of immortal is different to different people. So.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think to me, immortal means that you won't die of old age, but like you can still die from being stabbed. And vulnerable means that you will never die.
Yeah, vampires and shit, right? I mean,
Because like kind of like I think Tolkien's elves were like that, where like they could live to be however old, but if they fought.
Oh, that's definitely a token elf.
Yeah, like that's kind of the difference.
They go to the Undying Lands though, and they basically live almost the same life, but like better or whatever. Not the same life, but like they're in the Holy Land, killing it in Valinor.
All right, guys. GG's.
Yeah. That was a
I'll
great
talk to y'all
game.
later. Have a
Alright,
good week.
homies.
Peace.
Bye, y'all.
Yeah.